Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back again in this fourth presentation of this second season of semester 2 presentations. In this slot, you are going to make presentations on literary theory and criticism, and the topics which are included in your syllabus are mixture of Western and Indian poetics. So from Indian poetics, you are going to make presentations on Ras theory, uh, Vakrokti, Dhwani, yes, Riti. These are some of the various schools of Indian poetics which you are going to make presentation along with Bharat Muni's Natya Shastra. And in Western poetics, you are going to make presentations on I.A. Richards' practical criticism and on Northrop Frye's archetypal criticism. So, first of all, let me invite Jignesh. You have to unmute yourself.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Yeah.
Here I am going to share my screen. So today's my topic is Rasa theory in method 3D.
Yeah. Still, we are not able to see your screen.
So first we know that what is a Ras theory. So Ras
Yes,
literally
Jignesh.
means juice,
Yeah.
essence, or taste. It refers
Jignesh,
to the emotional flavors,
are you able to
essence
listen?
crafted into the work by the writer and realized by a sensitive spectator.
I think he's not able to listen. Jignesh, are you able to listen? Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, you have not shared your
yes, sir.
screen, yes, about you talking
Yes,
about
sir.
the Rus theory, yeah. Yes.
Yes, sir. I, yes, sir. Are you listening?
Yes, yeah.
Yes. There is some network issue. That's why.
Okay.
Okay, just 1 second. Shall I, sir? Shall I start, sir?
Yes, you can start.
Hello.
Are you getting my voice?
I'm going to share my screen. Yes, sir. Sir, hello, sir.
Yeah, you can start. You can start now. Your screen is yet not shared. Yeah. I think he has left. Yeah, Khushbu, are you ready? Khushbu?
Yes, sir.
So then let us start with your presentation. You were late in joining, so we started with Jignesh, but he also faced some technical problem. Yes, Khushbu, keep on speaking something, whatever you are doing. So there is an audio also along with video.
Sir, is my screen visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Good afternoon, respected sir and my dear friends. Today's my
Yeah,
topic is
yeah, you're
ideas
not,
such as figurative language, and for that I have taken two poems to explain his concepts better.
you have yet not played your presentation.
Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So my first poem is piano, and the second poem is the Bengal seller. And these are the images. Piano is the poem by D.H. Lawrence. Um, the poem is softly in the dusk, a woman is singing to me, taking me back down the vista of yours till I see a child sitting under the piano in the bottom of the tingling strings and pressing the small poised feet of a mother who smiles as she sings. In spite of myself, the insidious mastery of song betrays me back till the heart of me weeps to belong to the old Sunday evenings at home with the winter outside and hymns in the cozy parlor, the tinkling piano are guide. So now it is in vain for the singer to burst into clamor with the great black piano appassionato. The glamour of childish days is upon me, my manhood is cast down in the flood of remembrance. I weep like a child for the past. In this poem, caesura occurs when the poet uses a pause in the midst of a line. That is, we see pause in the above paragraph in second line with the full stop after appassionato. Uh, uh, for example, with the great black piano appassionato, then there is full stop. So here we can see the example of Cassiero. Then the glamour in the above stanza. So in the middle of the continuous line, there is a full stop. And then the new statement begins. Then in the another, uh, enjambment when the poet cuts off a line before its natural stopping point. For example, the transition between lines 1, 2, and 3 in the above stanza. In spite of myself, the insidious mastery of song betrays me back till the heart of me weeps to belong to the old Sunday evenings at home with the winter outside. Now, in the above three lines, we see that there is a continuous three lines without any kind of full stop or pause. So this type of is known as injectment. Then we have alliteration. Occurs when the poet uses the same consonant sounds at the beginning of the words. For example, poised and pressing in the first stanza, and the parlor and piano at the second stanza. So here P and P are both are repeated in both the cases. Then tingling strings is an unmasked poia that portrays the sounds of piano and creates a literary effect. Then the lyrical voice says that song of the woman takes him back to the vista of years, serving as a metaphor for his or her childhood memories. So vista of year is a metaphor for the memories. Betrays me back till the heart of me weeps to belong is a powerful imaginary to portray the lyrical voices wish to live his or her childhood memories again. The heart is personified and gives the human capacity of crying. And the last line there is a simile. I weep like a child. So I is compared with a voice. Then this is another poem, The Bengal Seller by Sarojini Naidu. Uh, in this poem, four stanzas are there. Sarojini Naidu, also known as the Nightingale of India, she is a poet, and here we find that many poetic devices are used in this poem. Simile is used uh, since the poem associates the color of bangles to the stages of woman. We could see a lot of comparison being made by the poet. In the second stanza, while describing the color suitably for young maidens, she uses silver and blue as a mountain mist. Some are flushed like the birds that dream. So, in this way, many examples of similes are given in this poem. And then metaphors. Rainbow tinted circles of light. This is used for bangles. In second stanza, the birds that bloom to picture the rosy color. This is also a metaphor for young maidens. Imaginary. Besides the use of simile and metaphor, the poet has skillfully employed imaginary. Her adept use of words creates images in the mind of readers. One could visualize the mountain mist, birds that dream newborn leaves, and the flame of her marriage fire and tinkling sound. They are beautifully described this scene. So, words, imagination is created through words. Again, in this poem, we find alliteration. Um, uh, in the line or rich with the U of our heart's desire, the repetition of the H letter, and whose hands have cherished, whose love has blessed. Here also H is repeated in this line and whose is repeated. Rhetorical question. The questions are asked not for the answer but just to ponder upon it. Like in this poem, the poet uses, who will buy these delicate, bright, rainbow-tinted circles of light? Now, for the person who is not interested in all these bangles, he will think that who is going to buy all these bangles? Everybody cannot have passion for bangles. Anaphora. The poet has used the rhetorical device anaphora when describing the ideal wife for a complete woman. Consecutive three lines in the last stanza begin with the word and, making emphasis on the incidents making woman a good wife. So in last three stanzas of the poem, we can see this anaphora used here. And cradled fair sons on her faithful breast, and serves her household in fruitful pride, and worship the gods at her husband's side. So here we see the anaphora used in last three lines to describe an ideal woman. These are citations. Thank you.
You can stop presenting. Yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
presenting.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so when you are considering this as a part of I.A. Richards' figurative language or practical criticism, see what I.A. Richards is doing is not simply analyzing the poems. He is not simply analyzing or explaining the poem. He is problematizing the poem. What is he doing? He is problematizing the poem. So he is telling that if somebody comes to the language of poetry and tries to see that the language of poetry should mean this in simple terms, then you will have a problem. You will have a question that how can Bengals have rainbows? How can Bengals have the mist, mountain mist, or the streams of the brooks and streams of the forest? How can all this thing be there in Bengals? Bengals are the something that is made up of glasses. It may not have all those things. So then that you problematize that first, and then try to explain that why this language, why such things are pardonable here, because this is poetry. This is not the language of matter of fact. We know that there cannot be a rainbow in Bengals. There cannot be the mist of the mountains in the Bengal. There cannot be the streams running in the Bengal. It is not possible. Absolutely not possible. Bengals is something made up of glass. So you can't have those things in real terms in all this thing. So you explain. So you are problematizing that first, and then explain that here it happens because this is figurative use of language. And then you explain what is figurative use. That here there is alliteration, here there is this figures of speech, or this and that, and that the meaning of this language is this, not that. So you have to explain very clearly what it should not mean and what it should mean. That is what I. Richards is doing here. Are you getting the point or not? Everybody, this is for everybody, that what is I. Richards doing? He is problematizing the language, and he's telling that this language will mean this all things, but that is not what poet wants to say. That is not what poetry wants to say. Poetry wants to say something else. So then you say that why that happens. That is what we were doing in discussion, that how can milk smile? How can milk do not have a face? So milk cannot smile. Mantle, the cloth. How can mantle be wise? Wise human beings can be wise, but how can a cloth be something having a wisdom? Or how could pencil? How could cloud held pencil in the hand? It cannot do. How come a spring on a spring night? How come there are lightnings? Not possible to have lightnings in spring night. And then you say that these are midnight lightnings, and dawn is listening. Dawn is listening. How is it possible that how dawn can listen? So he is problematizing, and then he's telling personification can be allowed. These all liberties are given to poet. That way you have to explain. So if you miss this and only simply paraphrase, then you are not doing what I. Richards is telling. Practical criticism is not this. First you have to problematize, then you have to solve the problem. So that is the technique of teaching poetry. First you tell that what are the other meanings that we are getting here, and then what is perhaps the right meaning. How from all those things, doing neti, not this, not this, not this, we reach to something, and then our understanding of language becomes more clear. Okay.